They tell you the only reason your home in Raleigh isn't selling is the price. Just lower the price, they say. It's the market, they say. That is the laziest and most expensive advice in real estate, and it's costing sellers here in the Triangle thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, because the real reason your home is sitting on the market has almost nothing to do with the price. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what's really happening behind the scenes and how to fix it fast, even if you've been sitting on the market for weeks. Let me start with a quick story about a real seller here in the Triangle. We'll call her Lisa. Lisa's home in Raleigh sat on the market for 52 days, no offers, barely any showings. Every week, her agent told her the same thing. Just lower the price, the market is shifting, buyers aren't biting. But Lisa wasn't dumb. She knew something felt off. She had a beautiful home, great location, updated kitchen, the stuff buyers say they want. So she asked the question every frustrated seller eventually asks, is my home the problem? Or is my agent the problem? And that's when she called me. Within 60 seconds of looking at her listing, I knew exactly why it wasn't selling, and it had nothing to do with the price. The marketing was wrong. The story was wrong. The photos were wrong. The strategy was wrong. And if your home isn't selling in Raleigh, Apex, Clayton, Garner, Wake Forest, Cary, or anywhere in the Triangle, the truth is, the same thing is probably happening to you. I'm Slezak, your Triangle real estate expert and founder of Slezak Real Estate, brokered by LPT Realty. I'm one of the first AI certified real estate agents in the country and was featured in Yahoo Finance for how I use AI, data, and modern digital marketing to help sellers across Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Holly Springs, and the entire Triangle sell smarter and move with confidence. And if you want our Smart Home Seller Guide, just text Home Seller Guide to 919-607-4844 and my team will send it right over. Now let's talk about why homes really don't sell. When I looked at Lisa's listing, I saw the #1 reason homes fail in the Triangle. And it's the same reason many sellers across Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Holly Springs, Garner, and Wake Forest: outdated marketing. A lot of agents are still using what I call the 3P method. Put a sign in the yard, put the home in the MLS, and pray someone else sells it. That might have worked years ago, but today, it's the fastest way to make your home sit on the market. Because here's the truth most agents avoid. 99% of buyers start online, and they scroll fast. They have an 8-second attention span. They make snap decisions. They click what stands out, and they skip everything else. If your home doesn't pop online, you're invisible, even when your price is perfect. And remember, in the Triangle, you're not just competing for local buyers. You're competing for buyers moving in from other parts of North Carolina, places like Charlotte and Wilmington, and a massive wave of out-of-state buyers coming from New York, Texas, Florida, California, and beyond. Meanwhile, buyers already here in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, and Chapel Hill are upgrading, downsizing, relocating for work, or just looking for something that fits their lifestyle better. But no matter where they're coming from, every single one of them starts their home search online long before they ever set foot in North Carolina or drive across town to see your house. That means your home needs more than a sign and an MLS post. It needs a real marketing campaign. Modern, targeted, intentional, and designed for how buyers actually behave today. Lisa didn't have that. Her photos were dark. Her description didn't tell a story. Her listing wasn't being pushed to the right people. And her home wasn't showing up where the actual buyers were searching. So when we relaunched her home, we did it the modern way, with a real AI-powered strategy. I rewrote her listing to make buyers feel something. We replaced the photos with images that stop people mid-scroll. We built Triangle-specific ad campaigns. We created social videos. We ran Google and YouTube traffic. And we used AI to target buyers moving to the Triangle from inside and outside the state. And here's what happened. Once her marketing actually matched today's market, the right buyers finally saw her home. And everything changed. And that's why most homes sit. Not because of the price, but because the marketing was never built to reach today's buyers. Now, the second reason homes sit on the market in Raleigh and across the Triangle is simple, but it's the hardest one for sellers to hear. Sometimes the home isn't the problem, the agent is. And I don't say that to be harsh. I say it because I see it every single week. What most sellers don't hire an agent based on skill. They hire based on comfort, a friend, a neighbor, someone from church, or the agent who promised the highest price, even if it wasn't realistic. But here's the real question you should be asking when you hire someone to sell your biggest asset. What is your week-by-week marketing plan to sell my home? Not, how many homes have you seen? Not, are you good with people? Not, do you live nearby? No, the real question is, show me your actual plan. Because in today's triangle market, a sign in the yard and an MLS post are not a plan. They're the bare minimum. Most agents never talk about digital campaigns, ad budgets, refining your home's online story, A/B testing photos, social video strategy, AI targeting, YouTube visibility, Google ranking, buyer behavior analytics, or anything else that actually moves the needle. That's the real gap. When Lisa came to me, she didn't have a pricing problem. She had a strategy problem because her agent wasn't doing the work the market now demands. Her listing had no reach. Her ads weren't optimized. Her photos weren't attracting buyers. And the only advice she ever got was, lower the price. That's not strategy. That's surrender. So when we stepped in, we created a real plan. Modern marketing, AI-powered targeting, social reach, YouTube exposure, and a clear story that made her home stand out in a crowded Raleigh and Triangle market. Once she had the right person behind the wheel, everything changed. And that's the truth for most sellers today. Your home might be amazing, but if you hired the wrong agent, your results will always fall short. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons homes in Raleigh and across the entire Triangle sit on the market. And most sellers have no idea this is happening. It's called the 8-second test. When buyers scroll through Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, or any of the major home search apps, they make a decision in 8 seconds. 8 seconds to click your listing, or scroll right past it and never come back. And in those 8 seconds, they're not reading the description. They're not looking at square footage. They're not checking the year the roof was replaced. They're judging only one thing. Your very first photo. That first photo is everything. It's the storefront. It's the handshake. It's the first impression that decides whether a buyer even gives your home a chance. But here's the problems, and it drives me crazy. Most agents lead with the wrong photo. They pick a dull, flat, boring exterior photo. Why? Because it's easy. Because it's what they've always done. Because they don't have a marketing strategy, just a listing strategy. But buyers don't fall in love with driveways. They fall in love with kitchens, living rooms, outdoor spaces, the rooms where people imagine living their life. When I looked at Lisa's listing, her very first photo was the driveway. Nothing wrong with the driveway, but it wasn't the selling point. Her real hero shot, the photo that actually sold the home, was her beautifully renovated kitchen. Bright, open, modern, warm. Exactly what Triangle buyers are clicking on right now. So we made that photo the first photo, and what happened next was insane. Clicks jumped over 300% in the first 24 hours. Not because the home changed, but because the presentation changed. And this is why homes sit on the market, not because of the price, but because your home fails the 8-second test. Hey, quick pause. If this is helping you understand why homes in the Triangle really don't sell, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I post weekly videos breaking down the exact strategies that help Raleigh, Apex, Cary, Clayton, Garner, and Wake Forest homeowners sell faster, easier, and with more confidence. And we're just getting started. The next part of this video is the most important, so keep watching. Now, once your home passes the 8-second test, something else has to happen. And this is where most homes in the Triangle fall apart. It's not just the photos. It's the marketing machine behind the photos. Most agents are still using what I call the 3P method. Put a sign in the yard, put it in the MLS, and pray someone else sells it. That strategy worked 10, 15 years ago. It does not work in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Clayton, Garner, or Wake Forest today. Why? Because buyers aren't just looking on the MLS anymore. They're looking on Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and believe it or not, AI search engines like ChatGPT and Google AI chatbot Bard. If your home isn't showing up where buyers are, in the format buyers expect, you're invisible, even if your price is perfect. That was Lisa's problem. Her listing was basically hiding online. No video, no reels, no targeted ads, no YouTube exposure, no Google ranking, nothing. Her entire marketing plan depended on buyers magically stumbling across her listing. But today's buyers don't stumble, they scroll. So when we relaunched Lisa's Home, we did it the right way. We used a full digital marketing campaign, triangle-specific Facebook ads, Instagram Reels, YouTube walkthroughs, Google keyword targeting, and my AI-powered proprietary buyer finder system, which pinpoints the exact buyers most likely to be searching for a home like hers. That system alone puts your home in front of the right audience at the right time. Not just anyone scrolling, but the exact buyers in Raleigh and the surrounding triangle who are actively looking and ready to move. The difference is night and day. Within 48 hours, Lisa's Home went from being buried online to being front and center in front of real, high-intent buyers. And that's why homes sell fast. Not because of luck, not because of price drops, but because the marketing finally matches the modern market. Here's another reason homes sit on the market in Raleigh and across the triangle. And it's one most sellers don't think about. Sometimes your home isn't selling simply because buyers can't see it. Not because it's hidden, not because it's priced wrong, but because it's either not easy to find or not easy to schedule. And in today's market, buyers don't wait around. If they can't tour your home quickly and easily, they move on to the next one without ever giving yours a chance. But here's the truth, most agents won't tell you. The showing problem is actually a marketing problem. If buyers don't see your home online, they won't try to see it in person. So the first thing we do is fix your online visibility, but then we take it one step further with something most agents don't even know exists. My AI-powered buyer finder system. This system tracks buyer behavior across Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Clayton, Garner, Wake Forest, and the entire triangle. It analyzes who's clicking, searching, saving, sharing, and touring homes just like yours. Then it puts your listing directly in front of those high-intent buyers, the ones actively looking for a home just like yours right now. So instead of waiting for random traffic, we push your home to the front of the line, and once buyers actually see your home online, we then make it incredibly easy to tour in person. We set up open availability, a first 72-hour wide open showing window, a simple lighting and staging checklist, a 10-minute cleanup guide, and a no-stress showing plan for you and your family. The result? More visibility, more showing requests, more qualified buyers walking through your door. When we did this for Lisa, her showings doubled in the first week, not because her home changed, but because her exposure changed. And that's what gets homes sold. Now let's talk about something every seller in the triangle worries about, even if they don't say it out loud. What if my home just doesn't sell? That fear keeps people stuck. It keeps you stressed. It keeps you from making offers on your next home, and it keeps your whole life on hold. Lisa felt that exact fear. After 52 days with no offers, she was terrified of being trapped with 2 mortgages. That's why we use something most agents don't even offer: My House Cash Buyer Network. Here's what it is. I've built a private network of fully vetted cash buyers right here in the triangle. People in groups ready to buy homes quickly, as is, with flexible closing timelines. So instead of crossing your fingers and hoping the right buyer comes along, we can quietly shop your home to My House Cash Buyer Network and get real offers, sometimes in just a few days. No endless showings, no repairs, no drama, just options. This gives you something almost no seller ever gets: control. You're no longer stuck. You're no longer guessing. You now have real buyers, real cash, backing up your home sale in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Clayton, Garner, or Wake Forest. And that's why sellers feel so confident working with me. Now let's talk about something that shocks most sellers in the triangle: how much money they could actually keep if they stopped overpaying in commissions. Most sellers don't realize this, but when you sell one home and buy your next one, you're often paying fees on both sides. And that can add up to thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, gone. That's why we created the Sold Zero Commission program. Here's how it works. When you work with me to sell your current home and buy your next home here in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Clayton, Garner, Wake Forest, or anywhere in the triangle, your listing commission becomes 0%. Yes, 0. You still get full service, full marketing, full staging guidance, full negotiation power, but you keep more of your equity instead of giving it away. Sellers love this because it rewards you for staying with an agent who's already invested in your success. And in a market where every dollar matters, this program can be the difference between settling and winning. For Lisa, this saved her thousands. Real money she kept in her pocket instead of paying in fees. And it can do the same for you. So let's bring this all together, because if your home isn't selling in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Holly Springs, Garner, or anywhere in the Triangle, it's almost never the price, it's the marketing. It's the first photo buyers see. It's the story your home is telling online. It's the exposure your listing gets. It's the strategy behind the scenes. And it's whether your agent actually understands how buyers behave today, not 5 years ago. You saw it with Lisa. Her home sat for weeks, no offers, no movement. But once we fixed the photos, rebuilt her marketing, used our AI buyer finder system, and tapped into our house cash buyer network, her home went from stuck to sold. That's the choice you have right now too. You can keep waiting and hoping things magically change, or you can choose a smarter plan, a modern plan, one built for the way buyers think and search here in the Triangle today. And when you work with me, you never guess. You get real strategy, real marketing, real support, and real results. If you're a home seller in Raleigh, Cary, Apex, Holly Springs, or anywhere in the Triangle, and you want a selling experience that feels clear, smart, and in control, let's talk. I'm 𝐸_Slezak, AI certified real estate agent, home seller expert, and founder of 𝐸_Slezak Real Estate, brokered by LPT Realty. I help sellers across the Triangle sell smarter, avoid the traps most agents never talk about, and move with confidence. If you want help right now, text Home Seller Guide to 919-607-4844. You'll get my Smart Home Seller Guide. It'll walk you through the biggest mistakes to avoid and give you a clear plan for preparing your home the right way. Or if you want to shortcut the whole process, I set aside a few free, no obligation 15-minute strategy calls every week. No fluff, no pressure, no pitch, just straight answers about your goals, your timeline, and the smart way to sell in today's Triangle market. We'll also look at whether the sold zero commission program or the house cash buyer network is the best move for you. The link's in the description. Click it, book your spot, and let's build your plan together. And before you go, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so YouTube pushes this out to more smart home sellers just like you. Thanks for watching. Buy smarter. Keep more. I'll see you in the next video. What $2,500 a month gets you in Raleigh, North Carolina in 2026. 𝐸_Slezak Real Estate, brokered by LPT Realty.